So now let's jump into the big section. This is going to be much longer. Let's talk about paid ads. Okay. And now we're going to go deep into how to launch, manage, scale ads like a pro. And now we're going to switch to my computer, where I'm going to basically walk you through multiple things, which is going to be very nuanced, very in detail. So I hope you enjoy it, and I hope you get a lot of value from this. Okay, so let's start off with the intro for paid ads. So the goal for paid ads is to drive leads and sales to the business and get clients with the lowest cost possible. Will it always be like that? No, but that's the goal, to get the lowest cost possible. Here's me, like for my business specifically. So my target is to have 400% return on investment, cash on cash from ad spend. So if I spend 10,000 euros on ads, my goal is at least to get 40,000 euros back in new sales, in new cash. Not revenue, but cash. Revenue, contract value, cash, actual cash in the bank, okay? So that's my setting. For each business model, let's say I have a friend that sells iPhone photography courses. His goal is one-to-one, like because he just sells digital products with no services, no human costs. It's like different, okay? So you also think about what is the okay, optimal, okay? And if it's better, of course, great. But just like, where's the cap? Because some people get stuck in this place where they start running ads, and the maximum they can invest in a month is 1,000 because they just have not set it, and they feel always, oh, I'm losing money. But it's not like losing money. You're investing money to reach more people, so you can get more customers, you can get better, you can improve your business and get more sales and build a business that actually is meaningful. So first step in paid ads is to decide what you're going to advertise. So decide. As Nick told you, I would recommend you to do the core offer thing, to advertise the core offer. Second thing is to pick what kind of acquisition playbook will you use. So there are multiple options, okay? Multiple options, like really multiple options, right? And this is something we also build for our customers. So let me just share the big ones, okay? So the big ones are, the first strategy is like a lead gen acquisition playbook, which is a fancy word, but basically it means we run great ads. We get people to sign up via Facebook forums or Instagram forums, so people don't leave the platform. That way we can test a lot faster. We can see what's going on. We can see the initial market reactions, and we can get results very fast. Okay? That's number one. And I would recommend this for anybody who's starting out with paid ads to do this. Okay? For B2B or high ticket sales, I would use the video sales letter funnel, which basically stands for a video sales letter. We create a good offer, we run great ads, we send them to a landing page where they're gonna opt in, and then there's a video selling them the opportunity, selling them the service, selling them the product, and inviting them to do the next step, which is buy or schedule a call. Okay, and then we have the call. Next, a playbook could be a group funnel. This is great for experts, coaches, consultants, specifically, which is, hey, we have a resource, a cool thing, like a lead magnet or something like that. They sign up, you say, great. Here's the link to join the platform where you can get access to this. And this platform is typically a group where people can get access to this stuff, get some more value. And from there, you can invite them to have an onboarding session with you, a call. And then you actually sell your services and have a meeting about actually helping them a little bit more. So the new strategy, or the newer thing we're also helping our customers with and helping them with, is called a self-liquidating funnel. A fancy word basically means we're selling low-ticket digital products or physical goods via the internet. So no sales team, we can spend 10,000 euros, get 10,000 back initially by running ads to a sales page where people can order, and then we do upsells, downsells, so people buy our products. And that's how we get buyers who then can convert in high ticket sales. But that's the playbook. Why there are so many, and there's more, right? The nuances is every business is a little bit different. Every situation is a little bit different. Could you do something totally different from this? Yes. It's not like a stone. It can change. It doesn't need to be like this is only option for you. No. It's just like these are most typical, most frequently used, and they're working. So they're like working. So you want to model something that's actually working, right? You wouldn't want to model something that's maybe never proven, and you don't want to risk hundreds of thousands of euros to try something which you don't know what's going to work. So I think initially it's better to do something that actually will work. Third thing about paid ads, it's actually where to advertise. You might be thinking it's like Google ads and Meta or TikTok. No, actually it's not like that. So there's like Google, YouTube, TikToks, LinkedIn ads, Meta ads, Taboola, Outbrain. What are these ones? These two platforms are native ads. These is the platforms where they sell, similar to Google ads, they sell placements on websites. So when you go to Wall Street Journal or you go to CNN, their actually ads will show not from Google, but from third native platforms, who also sell reach to advertisers, aka businesses, right? This is the idea. Nonetheless, I have tried all of them. Nonetheless, in my experience, I still would go with Meta as my leading one. If I needed to pick one of these, I would do Meta still. Yeah, I wouldn't change it right now. Next step, number 4. It is launch the campaign. Here, a nugget you need to remember, okay? Remember, pre is better than post, which is your initial idea of what it is that you're gonna sell, run, make, the ad, the video, the text, the image. That is the most important thing. Like if you have something working and then you try to maybe, change a little bit, those are gonna be incremental improvements. But if you just dramatically change something new, you can have 2x, 3x, 5x, 10x difference in conversion or in the results you're getting, okay? So pre is better than post. And post meaning like after the video or ad is created, it's launched, you try to change something and improve, right? So try to do like the big ideas. That is way more important, okay? Number 5, and I'm gonna also show you, it is to track your campaigns, manage them. Here's one thing we give our customers, which is the Sharp OS system, where basically you can track your ads funnel to funnel, like how much ad spend, how many leads, what's the cost per lead, booked calls, and see the total result. You can see the pace, you can see your targets, and you can see the total of the ads you're doing. And you can basically be very good understanding of what's going on in your advertising, okay? So that's what I'm gonna show you basically how we do it also in our company. Number six, very important, is to improve your offer all the time. Improve your campaigns, improve your ads, and continue to make new ads. And try to make new ads rather than improve ads more than just improving, okay? And what is the most important metrics or data to look at? It is how much are you spending to get one customer? That is the number one metric. Second most important metric is how much are you spending to get one meeting? Like how much are you spending to get one appointment or one sales opportunity for your company? And then what to improve if you're like, I'm doing ads and the results are going down. So first thing is your offer, like what it is that you actually pitch people on the ads, right? What it is. Second one is your ads, the visuals. Typically, just don't be boring. Be new, different, unique. Start with crazy stuff. Be moving, do sitting, do videos, do images. Just experiment. And number 3, and the last thing, would be changing the funnel. Would be going inside your funnels and be like, oh yeah, I think this, we need to change the landing page, need to change this. That would be the last thing I do, by the way, the last thing I do. The first things what I would do is basically changing the offer. In this page, you can see here, this is the offer. So I would think about that. What could I do which would be new, unique, different, completely weird, etc. And then I would change the ads, what I'm seeing on the ads, and then only then I would focus on the landing page. So remember these sequence, because I see sometimes people get so much about the funnel, but it's not about the funnel, okay? So last thing about the 6 point is how often to make new ads, right? How often, right? How often? Here's my kind of thinking about it. So if you're spending less than per month, if you're spending less than 1,000 euros, you can make new ads every month. I think it's fine because you're spending 30 euros or less per day. So if you spend like from 1,000 to 10,000 a month, I would do new ads every 2 weeks. If you're spending more than 10,000 a month, new ads every week. So this should be the kind of the idea. How many ads? It also depends, but the more the better usually. If you want to improve your results on your ads, okay? So now I'm gonna ask my colleague to basically drop this link. So first thing to run ads, and this is gonna be very, very basic, so I'm not gonna talk about it, but no, you know, some of you might not know this. So here's the video link to instruction. So if you don't have a Meta business account set up, the thing to do is to do it. Here is the logic behind how it's set up. So we have a person, that's you most likely, your Facebook account, you create a Meta business account, you create ad account, Facebook pages, Instagram accounts, and you just connect people to those accounts. So this is how it should look. And this is the link to basically create this whole thing. And here's a quick video. We'll drop it in the chat so you can, or below this video so you can do that, okay? Number 3, the big picture guidelines. Very simple. I'm just gonna run down. So number 1 is prepare. Number 2 is launch and monitor. Number 3 is optimize and increase budgets. That's like the big thing. Very important here is to define your KPIs. So I see many people make a huge mistake here. I want you to initially define what is going to be your KPIs. Of course, the ideal KPI is how much are we paying per new customer with this method, right? That should be the ideal. But you don't know because you have never run ads. So you should define steps back. So step back would be, am I fine paying 100, 200 euros per meeting? That's number 1. And if you're like, oh yeah, sure. Then you could be like, okay, I'm probably fine paying 10 to 20 euros per lead. So you should define this KPI. You can also put it lower, like 10 euros, 5 euros, 3 euros. Also depending on your country, language, etc. There's multiple things to look at, but you could define something. So what is good or what is bad, right? The KPIs. After some point, when you run ads, you will basically look at just like cost per customer, and that's your main driver, okay? Then after that, you launch and you optimize. And now I'm gonna basically go deep into these things step by step, okay? So about the launching ads. So here's multiple things, okay? And this is we're gonna get technical, guys. We're gonna get technical. So let's get technical, okay? So key principle to remember, 10 euros per day for a 10,000 audience on Meta. This is for the audience. So if you go inside of Meta, inside of this platform, when you make ads, you go inside and you click the edit the audience. Here, try to do the maximum budget would be 10 euros per 10,000 people, okay? So don't overdo it, okay? Don't overdo it, okay? So basically, you would maximum spend 500 euros for a 500,000 people audience on your account or something like that. Campaign structure helps us to achieve different goals, okay? And I'm gonna show the big things to look at, the campaign structure, which you need to remember, okay? And also, each campaign, this is a rule of thumb, each campaign should have one core offer or one big idea in it, so you don't get messy inside of it. So if you're selling vacuum cleaners, one campaign about vacuum cleaners. The second campaign about, I don't know, like ventilation systems. So don't put it in one campaign. Do it in separate campaigns, okay? Separate people, separate things, separate goals, separate campaigns, okay? So audience size per ad set. If you are starting ads, not if you know what you're doing, okay? If you're starting ads, you're not spending yet tens of thousands a month, I would really recommend you to follow this. So the audience size, when you set up audiences, go from 100,000 to 1 million per audience, per ad set, okay? Per ad set. And what are these ad sets and ads? Maybe I'm gonna just show you. So I'm a little bit skipping ahead. Campaigns is the big goal of the thing, like what you want. More leads, more traffic, more sales, more likes, doesn't matter, okay? Campaign. Ad sets is where we define who is going to see the ad, who is going to see the ad here. And here we have the ads, the actual ads. And the actual ads look something like this, right? This is like an example, okay? So, for example, I have the same ad here, but with different creatives, right? Here you can see. So this would be my first ad set, right? And I would do 10 euros here, 10 euros here, and 20 euros for the call campaign per day, okay? I'm just a little bit skipping ahead so you can understand me, okay? So, next thing. It can also be less than 100 if your total addressable market is super, super small. Like, I don't know, like you're like, I could only work with females who have kids and they are living in Latvia and they're 30 years old to 32 years old. Maybe, then I could still do it. If you're like super, super specific or super, super narrow, okay? It is okay. Also, there's no one size fits all approach. There's like none of it like that. How much to invest per day, daily budget, it all depends on your goals. It also depends, for example, to schedule meetings to acquire customers. Factors that can affect your budget, how much you would need budget, is how many leads do you plan to convert into meetings, right? Like how many? Then you can decide. And how many meetings can you handle, by the way? Because sometimes we launch customers some campaigns and you're paying like 5-10 euros per an appointment, and the customer can only take like 5 per day. So it's like maximum is 25 per day, right? Euros spent, because you just can't take more meetings. So it also depends on this. And this is where your budget ceiling cap may come into play, okay? So here's the budget plan ideas. So mini budgets, how I like to call it, is from 10 euros to 40 euros per day. Recommended for most is 50 to 190 euros per day. Yes, because let's say 50 euros per day, it is 50 times 30. It is yes, 1,500. Yes, you knew it. So 1,500. So if you want to have a business, it is okay to invest 1,500 in ads. It's nothing crazy, right? It's nothing, because you should be able to convert, sell, retain, and get more customers from it. Anything below 200, I call it like a maxi. Of course, upwards of 2,000-3,000 a day and even more. So it also depends on the situation, okay? Once you know exactly how much it is costing you to acquire a new customer, you'll want to invest as much as you can in advertising. This is a small backstory. When I was growing my company, I also was like in this kind of interesting thing where I was spending 100 to 500 euros a month, and I was like generating top line. I don't know what profit was, but generating top line from 5 to 10,000. And then I tried like 1,000. Then I tried to invest in ads like 1,000 or 2,000. Oh, then I did like 20,000. I was like, wow, this is crazy. Let's do more. And then it grew. But I was slow at it. I was like scared a little bit, right? You shouldn't be scared. Once you see something to be working, once you see the numbers, you should be a little bit bolder. You should be letting go of your fears, okay? You should be letting go of your fears. So, for example, if you have 500 right now to invest in ads, like that's your maximum budget, I would much better do 50 euros a day for 10 days and just see the results, not do 10 euros a day for 50 days. It's just gonna be slower. At the end of the day, it's gonna take you longer to figure out, was the offer good? Did I convert anybody? I think it's much better to do the first route just to test faster, get information faster so you can get better results, okay? And remember, once you get your first client from the ads, the client pays for advertising, right? The client paid for advertising. So, and you most likely you made a profit or some sort of more money stayed in your bank account than went out to ads, right? It should be like that if you're pricing it correctly and you're doing the strategies I'm gonna show you, and I'm showing you right now also, okay? Campaign objectives, as we talked about here. So multiple campaign objectives. Most of you should always only start with leads or sales. These are the two main ones. We're not gonna cover in them because then we're gonna finish at 10 o'clock in the night. So main two things, leads and sales. That should be what you're focusing on. Campaign level, you set the objective, what you want to achieve. Ad sets is the audience. You can see here, these are the ad sets, typically like a squares. And ads are the advertisements, okay? Like what you actually advertise, okay? So now the big one, the big thing. Whenever you make campaigns, let me just show you quickly live. Whenever you make campaigns, let's make a campaign. So whenever you make a campaign, let's say leads. Let's say manual. And I like to do manual. I don't like to do this. Whenever you set a campaign, there's this big thing, advanced campaign budget, right? This is the big thing. Like people see it and don't talk about it and they don't understand really what it is. So let me explain it to you really well what it is. So if you do this, if you turn it off, so it's not turned off, it's off, you can test and compare audiences because you will set the budget in the ad set level, right? And the results, you will also look at the ad set level. And you will spend more budget per result, typically, because you will spend money equally in each ad set. Doesn't matter if they produce results or not, this ad set. A good example would be you have an offer and you want to see is a woman or men responding more to this offer, or who's responding better in a certain city or a certain geographic. That's one option to check. Second one is you're not sure. I think my offer could buy people from 20 to 30, and I think people from 30 to 40 could buy. Okay, I think both of them could buy. So let's do a test. This is when you would turn it off, okay? Or different targeting options. You could check, like I'm putting some targeting options or no targeting options. You can just check what are the results. That's when you want to do it off. So off, that's off. Advanced campaign budget is off. When you want to turn it on, it's, okay, you're not going to test or compare because Meta will spend money on the ad set which gets the most results. So Meta will try to get more results for least amount of budget. So that's what you're saying, Meta, right? That's what you're saying. So it's most effective to use regarding lead costs. So cost per leads will be lower, or cost per sales will be typically lower. But you're not able to test. You're not able to see where should you focus. It's a little bit different. So typically, if a customer has more budget to try and see what's working, we typically start with off. We don't turn it on. We see what's working best, and then we can double down on the audience specifically, double down on the interests, and then, ramp ad spend more from there. So that's how we typically do it. If you're very constrained on the budget, then I would do it with this one. So I'll use it as on, okay? The campaign structure. So here you can see again, if the ad set budget is off, you can test, you can compare. If it's on, you'll get the most results for the budget you're investing. This is a standard budget structure, a campaign structure. If you're doing like 20 euros a day. So one campaign, 2 ad sets, one could be men, one could be woman, and then 3 different ads. Here you can see the specific ads. Like all of them have the same headlines, the same ad copies, and different images. I typically like to do just one variant inside of them so I can actually see. The biggest one, of course, is the whole offer, and this is the whole ecosystem of the campaign should be about the one idea, one campaign, one offer. And then the biggest thing, in my opinion, is not the headline. In my opinion, it's the image, the video or the image, what they see initially. Some people say it's a headline. I disagree. I think it's still the image, the video. That is what people see the most. That is what they see first. And I think that has the biggest impact on driving conversions, leads, sales, etc. So if you're doing initially the recommended budget, like 50 euros to 200 euros, I would divide the campaign into 4 to 5 ad sets, just like you can see here, and try multiple different things, right? Like maybe with interest, like interest 1, interest 2, interest 3, interest 4, interest 5. And I will do the same ads. But I would see what's working best, okay? Then if I do a maxi, you could do multiple ways. I would do it like this initially. This is initially. Once you don't know what's working. You could do 2 campaigns for 250 each, and all as well. They have 4 to 5 ad sets each in these ones. Or if you do 1,000 a day, also 5 campaigns for each, and it will break down like this. So this is what it would look like for a 500 a day. So I would do it like this. And I could also maybe do it like here I do men, here I do women, and I just like do a really good, thorough experimentation about the initial launch. So, but let's say you're like super sure you have done ads like me. I know what I'm doing, right? I have spent like hundreds of thousands on ads. So I know what I'm doing and millions if we count customers. So I know what we're doing. We would do sometimes something like this, and we know the offer will work. We could do like 100, 200 per day, just one ad set and just ads, and that's it. This is the most simple way of doing it. Also can apply. It's like, again, it all depends on the situation. It all depends on that, but there's a general rule. Super simple test also can do very, very simple, just like you pick the best audience. But also, when you do the audience, remember 100,000 to 1 million size, which you see in Meta. That's the very important thing, okay? So what about targeting? Like, what about Meta ad targeting? So again, I think Pareto principle applies. Targeting is in the ad set level. In many cases, 80% of the results come from 20% of the actual cause. And the question you should ask about targeting is, which audience buys from me most frequently? Like if you needed to decide who buys from you typically. Is it men? Is it female? Is it young people, older people, mid people? Is it people married? Is it people living where? Which countries? Where do people buy from you? So ask these questions to figure out the audience. And it's important to shoot with a bullet. It's important to shoot with a bullet than with a buckshot, like a bisa. I don't know how it's in English, like a shotgun with many small bullets at the beginning. It's like better to be a sniper at the beginning, okay? But remember, the ad audience should be at least above 50 if you're doing the super targeted. I recommended 100,000 to 1 million in the size of the audience, but at least 50 if you're like, no, Nix, I'm very, very specific. I'm like very, very targeted. No, at least this one, okay? And an exception is if you're doing retargeting. So if you're doing retargeting, this does not apply, okay? Let's say here, targeting in the Baltics. So you're targeting in the Baltic states, or let's say Poland, let's say Netherlands, let's say Austria. So maybe if your country is below like 10 million people. So Latvia has like in Facebook, it's like 800,000 people only, right? It is less emphasized on the targeting. It is less important. You know what's more important? The offer and the ad. That is the more important, right? If you have not huge audiences, like not millions of people inside of your country or your target audience, like it's again, much more important is the offer and the ads, not the targeting. If you sell, let's say, services online, a mega hack is, let's say you're in Germany, you speak German, you should run ads that target German-speaking people worldwide. Huge audience. For us, we do Latvians worldwide, great audience. People from UK, Ireland, USA, those are my people, like Latvians, and they buy from us like all the time. Great audience. So use that, okay? Use that. Again, let's go next. I'm a little bit skipping ahead because I think I'm going to talk about the main pillars. Targeting is very important because there are many more people if you do it worldwide, okay? And start with the countries, because the thing is, you might be thinking, oh, my people are like, my customers is like whole Europe. Bad approach. I would look at where do I get the most customers right now, in which country specifically, and then what I do typically, how I look at it. I go in my CRM, I look at like past 12 months, I look at the deals, and I look who bought, and I look at the phone numbers, and I check which country are these people from, and then I make a like Pareto, because 80% of sales come from 20% of countries for us. And we sometimes do run ads to whole Europe or whole USA, and we just check from which state, from which country, because you could be spending I think you could for sure be spending 50K per day in like some European countries only, and it will still be okay, right? So it's like people just don't realize this. People try to scatter, but they're not focused, and they cannot burn through the page if they're not focused. So you need to be focused initially, a lot more focused than you are to get better results. So here are some good targeting options which I would like to try. If I was you: parents, business page admins, relationship status, frequent travelers. Using for sure custom audiences like lookalike audiences. Lookalike audiences mean, hey, I have 1,000 customers. Find me similar people to these 1,000 people, or 1,000 opt-ins you have. You could do also similar people to these 1,000 opt-ins. You can create custom audiences from people who like watch your reels, people who visit your website, and you could run ads to those people as well. A great idea is, hey, you have a YouTube channel. Hey, you do Instagram. Hey, you do Facebook. And you basically retarget those people who watch you or listen to you or in some sort of way have seen you, and you retarget them with your offers, okay? Yes, this is, I think, no need. Got it. Okay, so here you can see the breakdown of the thing, which is called the audience. So this is just about the audience. So here's just about the audience. So I'm just gonna quickly cover it. So first one, you can select a custom audience. If you have something before made, you can, make a custom audience, like people who have visited your website, have seen your ads. You can make a custom audience from them. Here, you can create a new audience, a new custom audience. Here you create new custom audiences. And here you make new custom audiences. But here you can you can save the audience you made right now. So next time you make a campaign, you can just duplicate easily. You can use it again and again and again. And here you can just see your previously saved audiences. If you make a campaign and you don't save it, you can't use it. So I would really recommend you, once you have it nailed down, just save it, mark it, name it somehow so you can do it. Okay? Then here is the location. Here is the age, gender, and here is the detailed targeting, which is more specifically, hey, and also remember it like this. All of these platforms, they try to do the heavy lifting for you as much as they can. So you, with these things, can give a hint to the platform. Say like, hey guys, my people typically married. Look for those people, right? You're giving a hint. And there's options you can actually be very, very strict about it. And there's options where you're like letting loose. So if you select something like this, or it's called advanced detailed targeting, right now it's on default, it's always on. Meta will reach people also outside of the audience you set if it drives results. And when you set a campaign, you set the result, which is leads, sales, or traffic. The biggest problem I see, people set campaigns for traffic. And then, you know what? They get traffic. They don't get leads, they don't get opt-ins, they don't get sales so much, but they get a hell of a lot of traffic, which is clicks. So Meta looks, which ad people click the most? Let's do that. But doesn't mean if that ad converts the most. It just drives the most clicks. So be very important about the objectives you give for the campaign, okay? Number 6 is again this option to do multiple reach, multiple audiences. And number 7 is the language of the ads, or the people, language of the people, right? Like how they are talking. So how they are talking, right? If, for example, here I would do Latvians if I want to do worldwide to Latvia. Here I would do Spanish speaking if I want to do Spanish speaking people in Europe, or Spanish speaking people in America. One cool audience, a very cool audience. So let's say you're from France and Germany. A really cool audience is to do ads in USA, but just select your country, your language, and then run ads to them. But the ads can be English. The ads doesn't mean to be in a particular language. Great targeting option. Great targeting option. Now, again, this is gonna be a little bit tactical. So let me explain it like this. So when you set a KPI, so there's a little bit more information here, but I'm gonna, do the big stuff for you, which is the most important thing, which you need to remember. So about campaigns, because you launch campaigns and you're like, how do I know what to turn off and what to not to turn off? Like, let me give you an example. So let me show you like last 30 days, which campaign we have spent the most. Here's a campaign where we have spent like 2,000 euros almost, right? In one campaign. So I open it up. I have 2 ad sets. I open up the ad sets. It has like 3 ads. Okay, how do I know what to turn off, right? How do I know what to do? Like, how do I know what to turn off, what to not to turn off? How do I know? How do I know? Let me explain. So number one thing you need to do is to define your KPI. So that's the number one thing. Define your KPI. So you might be saying, I don't know my KPIs. So typical KPI, you can do 10 euros per lead. So you think about it, you're like, okay, 10 euros per lead, I'm fine. So whenever the KPI is above 1.5, the KPI, so in this example, if it's above 15, if my KPI is 10, then here would be a red flag. Shit, need to turn off this ad. And you typically start monitoring from ads, then to ad sets, and then to campaign. You see the logic. Ads, ad sets, campaign. And I think here is a great example. So I here have the campaign. Has 2 ad sets, right? Just 2. Both of them we're using advanced budgeting on, so we changed the budget to the campaign level, not here. So when I click on one of them, I see, yeah, you can see here, we had 3 ads. This one, this one, this one. And this one, I think, is like a lagging something. This is not like a real ad inside of this ad. And you can see, we had 1 ad that got us a lead for 120 euros. And my manager of the ads, he's like, shit, bro, need to turn this shit off. And that's what they do. They just turn off the one which is not in KPI. This one also, no, for us, it is still okay-ish because we know our mathematics and numbers, but this would also be like a red flag. This would be also a red flag. And he looks at 3 to 7 day intervals. 3 to 7 day intervals. So 3 doesn't look so nice here, this example. 7 and 14 days. 3, 7, 14 days. He looks at 3, 7, 14 days intervals to decide what to do with the campaign. For example, when I was looking at this right now, I would actually turn this one off. Here you can see no results. You know why? Because money was not spent on that ad. You can see it only reached 132 people. This one reached 1,000 people and we got 2 leads, but the cost per lead is high. So I would turn this one off. Then I go inside of the next one, and then you check here. And you check again what's happening. So you look at these 2 days. I can see here we spent 60 euros, 0 leads. I look at 7 days, still super high. This is like a red zone. And 14 days. See, 14 days is great, but the results went. So I would turn this off. Because I look at the last trend of the campaign. The last trend. Once everything is off, that is also off, right? And that's how you would see. If you here have multiple ad sets, you could sometimes just start with the ad sets, just kill it, because you see, oh my God, this interest is not working. Just kill it. For us, we're like specific states. It's like very, very broad targeting, so we're using a little bit different idea. But that's how you monitor. You basically need to know your numbers, need to know your KPIs, and then you just go inside of this and just do it. How often do you do it? Every 3 to 7 days. No, okay, sorry. Every 3 days, at least. Every 3 days, at least. And it can take you to initially maybe an hour, and then it can be like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Because you get fast to it, you get used to it. And with time, once you start spending, I think, tens of thousands, you can hire a media buyer that can help you with this, or you get help from us and we can help you with this, manage this for you with a super low cost, and just don't need to think about it. You just can rely on professionals, okay? So that's about monitoring. There's a little bit more nuance, but that's the main thing you need to remember, okay? Campaign optimization, okay? Campaign optimization. So you need to look at the data. Optimization is the action of making the best or most effective use of the situational resources, getting the most out of your current campaigns and ad spend. What I was just doing, the monitoring, that is in itself the optimization. Monitoring, basically, I was explaining how to look and see where is the problem. Optimizing means you make the changes. You turn this off, or you duplicate something that's actually working, etc. And here I think the biggest thing, the biggest quote is, you can't improve what you don't measure. You just cannot do it. You cannot improve what you don't measure, okay? And the first thing to have tremendously better results is to create a better offer and then relaunch the campaign with a completely new concept. It can be the same offer, but a spin on it, an idea, an angle on it, which is like fresh, different, new, unique, okay? That is the big thing, okay? And this has the biggest leverage in and of itself. After that, if you're like, I have no idea what to do. Okay, after that, you could make adjustments from most important to least important. You can make adjustments to the visual, to the video, to the image. Make a video if you don't have a video. Try to shoot a short video. Try long videos, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, even longer. Think about the attention grabbing hooks, the initial things in the ad, so it's like pops out. Add the problem of the client initially in the first 3 seconds. Interesting thing also. So let me share something interesting for you. So here we have video ads, by the way. Yeah, these are video ads. Let me show you something interesting. I think you will be very, very surprised. Okay, let me show you. So I think performance, you will see it. Sorry. Here. Okay, here it is. So some of you might think, Nix, damn, you have good videos. So on our best videos, our video average play time is 8 seconds. But let me put like longer periods. Maybe that's why it's not so okay. It's like 8 seconds. On average medium kind of level videos, it's typically 2 to 3 seconds. It's average time the person watches your videos, which means you gotta grab attention, which means you gotta stand out, which means you gotta do something wild. You gotta do something wild. It's got to be standing out. Otherwise, people don't give a, you know what I mean? You know what I mean, right? You know what I mean? So, and talk about the dream outcome of the client, the results of the client, etc. After the visuals or the images or the videos, next thing is the headlines. Yeah, it's the headlines. It's the headlines of the ads, right? Make it bolder, try emojis, try symbols, do something weird, multiple things. Try about the headlines. Number 3, then it's the text. And only then I would do about the text. I know some people talk about it's all about the text, it's all about the text. In my opinion, not. It's all about text. The text is important. The text sells, the copy sells, and you'll get much, much better leads if people like read 1 to 3 minutes what you have to say. It's just obvious, right? So the text, try short, try long, try without text, like no text. Try multiple things, right? As framework for copywriting, you could do AIDA, attention, interest, desire, action, and multiple other things you can try to do it. Now, I heard there's a question from you that what's the minimum time you need to let the campaign do its job? 3 days, at least 3 days, or at least like 100 euros to spend, even 300 to spend. It also a little bit depends on the country and the language, because the most important thing you need to remember is each country has different costs for the people you're showing ads to. Not just country, but also the language these people are speaking in. So it has different costs. Like for you to run ads in USA, it would cost you maybe 20 to 50 euros to show your ad to 1,000 people. In Latvia, it can cost you 5 euros to show the same ad to 1,000 people, right? It's just these things change a lot, this kind of question to answer it. So typically 3 days, at least 300, at least, just to see hey, is this okay? Because you need to give a fair shot. You need to throw the punch. You can't do it like this and expect it's gonna land. You need to do the punch and then you can expect it to land. Okay? Now, and here you can see a great thing when you have something that is working. You could do a great thing which we do for our customers, and we recommend you also to do. It is to duplicate ad sets. The ones that are running and doing great jobs, you can duplicate so you make more results from where are results coming from. Or you learn from that ad set, that audience you have selected, and then you make a new campaign with a little bit better videos, with a little bit better video images, or a little bit better headlines, with a little bit better texts, and relaunch it with 2 times, 3 times more budget. Okay? That's how you can do it. Okay? Now, let's go to the most important thing, which I want to cover. Scaling campaigns. Everything is working, man. I want more. Increase budget. Okay? So, when to increase budget? If your daily budget is below 200 euros, you can increase your budget by 20% to 100% every 72 hours. That would be my recommendation. Every three days. Which means you spend 100 euros a day, you can raise it to 120 a day or 200 a day. Every 3 hours. Every 3 days. Every 3 days. Let's say you're currently running campaigns where you're spending more than 200 per day. You're spending like 500 per day. Then I would do it a little bit less. So I would increase the budget by 10 to 20% every 72 hours, aka 3 days. And it also depends a lot on your KPIs, which we just covered. The most important KPI would be your cost per customer, cost per meeting, and content cost per lead. But also important is this: how aggressive are you? This all of this depends on what you can do, should do, and would do, right? Okay. Just asked my colleagues to open the window for us. Next thing, budget allocation. Okay. Budget allocation. This is actually what we just covered, like a section below. Remember, I would split budgets into more campaigns. As you saw in my own example, I had multiple campaigns. I have seen from personal experience spending upwards of 2,000-3,000 a day, that splitting campaigns into 200, 300, 500 euros per day is better than just one campaign with 2,000 euros per day. So that's just my personal experience, which I would recommend. So here, let me give you a great thing, how to mathematically calculate how much to invest in ads, like how much to do it. So a very simple example. So last month, I invested 1,000 euros, which is this much per day. We got 10 customers from the 1,000 euros. So we got 10 customers. Our CPA, cost per acquisition, was 1,000. This result is really good. I want more customers. So the first thing you need to do is, what's your goal? So you think about it, you're like, I want 2 times more customers. So you want 20 clients. Let's go. Let's plan the budget. So target number of clients times cost per client, which you have experience now, you know, and add 10 to 30% of it's gonna be, something's gonna change. So add more budget in my recommendation if you really want to hit the 20 clients per month. So do it like this. So here is an example. So 20 times 100, because we paid 100 in the last month, we add 20%, which is 120. So it's 20 times 120. Your budget, your new budget for next month should be this, to get the 20 customers. And the thing is, you need to put a big girl, big boy pants and just do it, Because what will happen? You start spending more money on ads, because you're going to do basically even more than double ad spend. So double per day also. You're going to be like, oh shit, I'm like spending more and I'm not making more back initially. Initially, that will happen. You know why? Because you maybe have a sales cycle. Maybe you close the deal within 10 days, 15 days, 20 days, or even longer. So, it's just gonna take some time until you can recuperate the investment faster. But it does not mean it will not work. It most likely will work. Just when you do these changes, also understand how many meetings did you have to get those 10 customers. Can you do this much meetings to get 20 customers? What you need to change, what you need to improve, what kind of time, how much work you need to do. All of these things also come into mind, right? And then the daily budget for this new experiment will be 80, okay? There will be stress, but be cool about it. So there will be stress about it, so be cool about it. That's my last, the last thing about before the scaling. Campaign naming. I see many people mess this up, so let me give you a simple framework how to do it. So the campaign name should be what's the offer and what's the goal, okay? Example, free trial, lead generation machine. Example, free session, booking meeting funnel. Audience, how to name the ad sets. I like to do it like this: age, language, gender, location, and then you can do interest or offer. So here is an example about the ad set. About ad is just like how can you distinguish what kind of ad it is. You can do visual number 1, visual number 2, or I like to do seminar video, black background image, offer 1, ad 1. I like kind of like mix this all the time. I don't have a clear structure on how I do this. So go bonkers on it, okay? So go bonkers on it, okay? Hope you guys got a lot of value, and I see there are questions. There are questions, but it's okay. Deep dive. The thing to remember about ads is you just gotta do them, and then you can see what is working, what's not working. But the number one thing is just do it. Just take action. It's still one of the best ways to acquire customers online. So just keep doing it. It's not like it's not working. It is working. It's like hockey. You might went to the hockey arena, went to skate, and you suck, and you fall, and you fail, and it hurts. But it does not mean that you cannot learn how to ice hockey skate. Just like with ads. You maybe run ads in the past because most likely you have. It does not mean it doesn't work. It did not work because you didn't do maybe effort, or the system was wrong, or your offer was wrong, or the help you got was not enough, or you just didn't took enough action yourself. Also could be the case, right? So it does not mean it doesn't work. It will work. Just keep going and keep doing at it.